Welcome to the state of PA football. PAFootballnews.com's weekly look at high school football from around the state of Pennsylvania. From Philly to Erie, Scranton to Pittsburgh, Johnstown to St. Mary's, York to Bradford, and all areas in between. Whether you're a Bulldog, a Lion, Crusader, Eagle, or Millionaire, host Billy Splain has got you covered. Thanks to our sponsor, The Funding Zone. He'll be traveling the state bringing a guest host and a friend or two. There's just one question. Are you ready for some football?
And now, your host, Billy Splain.
All right, everybody, welcome to another season of high school football. I'm Billy Splain,
I'm Tristan Kleinfelder.
and this is PFN Presents the State of PA Football. Tristan, welcome to the show, my friend.
I'm glad to be here. My first time.
I know. He's a first-time co-host, so be kind to him today. We're going to come in here. We're going to talk about some things that we're going to do this year. We changed our format up a little bit this year. We're going to have a lot of different things going on. We're going to travel all over the state. Next week, we're out in New Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. So I'm excited about that. We get to go out there with the Armstrong County people and get to see a lot of people out there. And we're going to have a pretty special quarterback coming over from Armstrong to be a guest on the show that day.
It's definitely going to be a good year, getting able to travel and do this show. So I'm excited.
Yeah, it's a fun time. We get to meet a lot of people. And tonight we're live from
What is it again?
C3 Sports.
C3 Sports.
Yeah, we're live from C3 Sports in State College, Pennsylvania. C3 Sports is a very large indoor complex. They do a lot of sports here. We're going to bring one of the guys up here from C3, Lance Kerr. He's going to talk to us about that in a little bit. The format this year, I never did this before, so we start off with a kickoff, and then we hit the midfield, and then we get to the red zone and in the end zone, and we wrap it up after that. So we're excited about that. You're going to still see some changes all year long as it's going on. And we want to thank Dan Reed back in his hometown. He's running the show from his hometown. It's been a difficult journey with him to try and figure out how to make things work. We still are working on some bugs, but for now, we've got the show rolling. I had a great time last week with Joe Gilloway from Lingostown Gazette Sports. We had all kind of coaches in Harrisburg, and that was just what a special fun day that was, man.
That's just the start. We got a whole season ahead of us, and I'm definitely excited for the new year.
No, I'm pumped up too. Unfortunately, it's back.
Yeah, it is. It's back, and it's bad, but we'll get through it just like we did last year.
Yeah, and we've had a couple of cancellations already this year, but luckily we've been able to hook those teams up that were able to play. So far, 11 games canceled. One of them was because a team didn't want to travel from Toronto to play Cathedral Prep. So if anybody out there wants to play Cathedral Prep this weekend, they're available. You can hit me up on PA Football News on Twitter at PA Football News, and I'll hook you up with Coach Mischler or their athletic director. So Cathedral Prep needs a game up there. Elko also needs a game, so we're just going to get that out there right away. People, if you go to our website, there's an open dates page, and you can find out who's open and who's not open. It's going to be fun. What were your greatest memories from last year?
Oh, my greatest memory from last year was probably
not the bad memories, the good ones.
The good one, probably Steel High and Bishop Guilfoyle. That state semifinal game that sent Steel High to the championship game. Young kicker, sophomore kicker, kicks a game-winning field goal. 8 seconds left in the game. Hayden Gardner takes the ball 45 yards down to about the 20-yard line. Bishop Guilfoyle kicker goes to make the extra point. No good. Steel High goes to state championship. Wins next week against Jeanette. Storybook season for them, guys.
I have two great games or three actually. I'm gonna go with three great games from last year. The first one was a similar team, Steel High versus Muncie.
Yes.
Steel High took control. Muncie comes back, and it goes. And once again, I think that was the first of three last-minute games for Steel High.
Yes.
Because Old Forge went down to the last second.
Yep.
And Mecky Flowers, who we're going to talk about this year a lot, all three games he made the game winner.
Yeah, he did.
So that's 3 weeks in a row. Flowers, and of course they don't have him this year.
No,
So
I
he's
still
out
think
of
they're
their
going to be a
school.
good team though.
I do too. I think they're going to be a really good team. Another game that I'm going to go with is the Jersey Shore State Championship game against Thomas Jefferson.
Yes,
I mean, nobody counted on Jersey Shore.
nobody.
Nobody. They were like,
Unbelievable game.
have a nice trip.
Mhm.
You know, get a book, go get some chocolate over at Chocolate World,
Yeah,
and enjoy your time down there. We're taking the trophy home. And then what happens?
close
They get
game.
an onside kick in the second half. They drive down and they're one play away, and the ball just misses.
Yep.
And just like that. I mean, if the ball hits the kid in the hands, and then the third one was probably the game of the year: Governor Mifflin and Pine Richland.
Yeah, I remember watching that game on Twitter. Right with your tweets, that was a game down to the wire, and I thought Governor Mifflin would pull it out, but somehow Pine Richland came back and won that.
They were down 3 touchdowns
Yep.
twice.
Mhm.
3 touchdowns twice and came back. And of course, Pine Richland went on to win the state championship against Cathedral Prep, who, due to COVID, really didn't play anybody in 2 weeks. And it's just really hard to win a game when
Yep.
you're off for 2 weeks.
Yeah, definitely.
Unfortunately for Cathedral Prep, they're off this week, and it looks like they may be off again next week.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
We're not sure, but
Not sure?
it's looking that way. So,
All right.
so that's kind of bad. But so right now, we're going to wrap the opening up right now, and we're going to get started with a commercial break, and then we're going to bring Lance Kerr in. So let's step off to a commercial with our good friends from Kickett's. Kickett's is a great
a
place
kicking
to
and
learn how to
punting
kick.
coaching service, is thrilled to be sponsoring 2 of the premier football all-star games in the country, the Big 33 game and the PA East-West All-Star game. Kickett provides individual and group specialist coaching sessions. The program is open to novice and experienced players. At Kickett, we focus on the fundamentals to improve accuracy and proper technique to add distance to your field goals, kickoffs, and punts. We go beyond the kicking session as we will supervise your off-season training programs to build mass, explosive power, and flexibility. In season, we can provide you practice schedules, evaluate your game film, and coach you virtually to enhance your performance. To bring your game full circle, we offer a recruiting service for our specialists through Be the Best Recruiting Services. For more information, take some time to visit our website at kickitjz.com.
And now it's time for our PFN kickoff.
Hi, everyone.
Look at this. Just like that, right after the kickoff, we got Lance Kerr sitting here from. Look at this. These are nice shirts. I don't even have one. I go to this church, C3 Sports.
I have to get you one.
Yeah, I don't have one.
We have a good supply. I have to
So-
get you one too,
Get
Tristan.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so Lance Kerr helps run this place, and a little background about this place. This is my church as well, and Lance is going to tell you a little bit about how this place went from a church to a place where we hold indoor events in a huge. How big is that place?
So we have about 36,000 square foot of playable surface. We have 4 courts in our dome, and we have 2 courts on our hardwood surface. And then we have an outdoor field as well.
How tall is the ceiling in there?
I'd say 45 feet.
45 feet. So you can do some kicking in here, I guess,
Yeah.
right? So you can come
Kicking.
in here and do
Perfect.
kicking. What else do we do here?
So we have volleyball camps, clinics, wrestling tournaments, basketball, PA Middle School State Basketball Championship here from C3 Sports.
Can you believe that? I mean, that's amazing right there.
Our first year, we had about 10,000 people come through.
Wow.
That's unbelievable. How
Yeah.
long has this place been open?
2 years now.
Okay. So let's say a kid wants to come here, and what would be your one message to the kid that wants to inspire him, that maybe is on the edge of not coming? What would you tell him to convince him to come?
Come in here, find a sport that you like, and have the best time of your life doing it.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, it's a good time here. It's a great thing here, and as long as you come in here and make the effort to be here, you're going to have a good time and you're going to enjoy it. The space is also not just for sports. But this past December and January and February, you guys were pretty popular.
Yeah,
Why was that?
we had a bunch of concerts. We had a bunch of guest speakers come in here
Uh-huh.
as well. So it's been really good. Craft
Yeah.
shows, trade shows,
AAU basketball.
AU basketball, marquee hoops, made hoops,
Yeah.
hoop group. Hoop group was big. It was,
Yeah, that was a big one.
yeah, it
Yeah.
was. We had 6-court tournament here, and it was amazing.
That's definitely good, especially in the time of the COVID
And
pandemic.
it's not just basketball. It's not
Everything.
just volleyball. I was in here one night and the girls lacrosse teams were in here,
Yeah, field hockey.
and the field hockey teams were in here. I watched a girl get hit right in the eyeball with that darn ball.
Went through the mask, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it just that was crazy. But there's another special event that's kind of connected to football. It's like a brotherhood
Rugby,
that happens here.
rugby,
No,
soccer, futsal,
it's that wrestling thing.
MMA.
They do wrestling here. We've had some wrestling tournaments here.
Oh, yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we have one coming up on September 5th. PA kickoff for championship.
Yeah.
What age range?
So it's from 2nd grade up to 8th grade.
Okay, that's awesome.
So youth wrestling event. It's really popular. I think last year we had about around this time 500 people
Yeah.
come through.
Yeah, it was a pretty big deal. And
And
then to tag on to that, in the evening once in a while, we have a really special wrestling event that happens here, and that's the Nittany Lion Club.
Yeah, Nittany Lion Wrestling Club. They've had 2 pay-per-view events here,
Okay.
and it's been really phenomenal. Kyle Snyder had
Bo Nickel's been here.
Bo Nickel was just commentating.
The Rutherford. They're all here. They leave Penn State and they come here to wrestle.
Yeah,
Can you-
Zane Rutherford beat the number 2 guy from India in the world here.
Here.
Yeah.
Wow, that's unbelievable.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Yeah, so we have some really neat events here, and if you're interested and you live in the State College area, come on over, and we'll do. We can have some church on Sunday morning too.
Yeah, come through for church, and also afterwards stay for volleyball or basketball or any soccer event that we have here.
Yeah, there's all kind of stuff going on, and there's a schedule of events. If you have a website, right?
Yeah, if you go to c3sports.org and check out our event page, it'll say all the tournaments and all the sports camps that we have going on here.
So if you're looking for a place to hold any kind of sports camp, any kind of sports tournament, C3 Sports is the place to be. Let's talk the future now. Like, I know a lot of football teams and programs, and they all look for stuff to do. We don't have turf here yet,
That's our next step.
but the future is nice, right?
Yes,
Working on it.
Our next phase would be getting turf in there and holding D lineman camps or O lineman camps or
Passing camps.
passing camps. Yep.
So turf is coming to C3. We just need to get it here.
Yes.
And then we have an outdoor, we have a field outside that we're talking about converting and smoothing over to make a field out of that.
Yes, we are. It's the backside of the parking lot here that we're looking to make in like level playing field. At least trying to get 2 fields out of it.
Yeah. And then we do concerts here too. There's just all kind of stuff that happens at C3 Sports. I mean, you can do any kind of event. You can do a speaking event here. We can set up for that. I keep saying we, but because this is my church too.
Yeah, you help out a lot.
And this is my church too. And we enjoy being here, and we do all kind of stuff here with C3 Sports. So I want to thank Lance for being here.
Thank you so much for
Lance,
having me.
Thanks for being here. And we're going to take a little bit of a break, and we're going to tell you about what's coming here on October 9th. What's coming here on October 9th?
The Alan Scott Band will be doing his story tour, and it's a really great Alan Scott. He's an ex-drug addict. He's been sober for 20 years, and he's gone around the country, and he's just got people to tell their story of how they were addicted to some sort of substance, and now they're set free from it, and just so other people can get set free. He goes into the jails and other homeless shelters and just ministers to people.
Yeah, so I think we have, if I can get a thumbs up from my producer, we have a story. We have a little video about the story tour. So let's check it out right now, the story tour with Alan Scott Band. Clear? Yeah, you're clear. Thanks, buddy.
Hopefully I did all right.
All right.
I'm not used to doing
Matt Lintel just said, what time,
it. Where?
where do we meet?
Thanks, guys. Hopefully I did all right for you.
Yeah, nope, that's perfect. I just wanted to tell everybody what's going on.
Yeah, no, it's good. Thank you.
Yeah, we brought you up early.
I can go eat now. I haven't ate all day. You guys need anything?
No, we're good. See, we didn't have him till 7:15. I had that wrong, but that's all right. We can stretch it out.
Oh yeah.
You want to go to rankings?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, let's do rankings. Damn, we're going to move it around. We're going to pull rankings up now. Give me a thumbs up if that's okay. I didn't get a thumbs up. All right, we're back live, and that's the story tour with the Alan Scott Band. It's going to be exciting. October 9th, right here in the State College. If you go to the story tour website, you can see all their dates. They're coming to high schools or to churches all over the state in Pennsylvania, as well as the East Coast and West Coast. So check out the story tour. There are a lot of people out there who could use some help, and it's not just for drug addicts. It's for anyone who's down and out, and you're feeling like you need an uplifting experience.
Yeah.
And that's what that's all about. And that's what that tour's for, to lift people up. So right now, we're going to skip around a little bit here. Let's talk about what you're looking forward to this year.
Oh my gosh. I'm looking forward to a lot of things. Fans again. I'm looking forward to just the football season. Hopefully a trip to Hershey as long as everything goes all right. I'll be in Hershey this year, and I'm excited for my week 0 game here at Gateway against Delaware Valley. It's going to be a great game. Bald Eagle, Tuesday at 6 p.m. or Friday at 6 p.m. My bad. And so I'm just kind of looking forward to that. What about you?
I'm looking forward to just walking into a football stadium, and I don't have to call 3,000 athletic directors to find a stadium that I can walk into.
I definitely agree with that as well.
That was tough. And it was really difficult finding all our reporters last year places to go, because I mean, like, I'm getting calls at 4 o'clock in the afternoon on Friday. They're like, hey, they canceled my game. Where can I go? And I'm just like, I have no idea. There were a couple weekends I stayed home. But the one thing about last year was, for me, if there was a silver lining, I got to see a lot of teams and a lot of football that I normally wouldn't have got to see, because I went to a football game on a Thursday night, on a Friday night, on a Saturday afternoon, on a Saturday night, on a Sunday afternoon, on a Sunday night. I went on a Monday night, and I went on a Tuesday night. The only night I did not see a football game last year was a Wednesday night.
That's impressive, I'd have to say. But honestly, talking about things that we're looking forward to also is an open concession stand. I haven't seen one of those in a long time.
Actually, you're wrong. We saw one at Tyrone.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
When we were in Tyrone for the Lesser Lumber game, they had, and as a matter of fact, I think in Richland too, at Richland High School, they had one, or Johnstown.
Johnstown, yes, they did.
Yep, for the Ken Lancy game.
Well, since the fall season, other than summer All-Star games, I haven't seen a concession stand open.
So this was your first big year of touring the All-Star games. You did the East-West game, the Big 33 game, a couple of the smaller games. What did you think of the All-Star tour?
It was different, but it was also a lot of fun, especially the whole Big 33 weekend, East-West games, them doing it differently this year for the 1 to 3A schools and then the 4 to 6A schools, giving kids more of an opportunity to show and play a last game. So I thought that was pretty interesting. And then we went to a lot of the local All-Star games and also traveled Lesser Lumber. We went to the Ken Lancy game.
We went to Wilkes-Barre.
And then, we went to Wilkes-Barre. Scranton.
That's right. For the Dream game. We went up for the Dream game in Scranton. That was a fun, hot night.
It was a long game.
It was a long game.
Yeah.
That's the one thing about those games. The All-Star games, they just stretch out because nobody knows the rules. And they're trying to run it from upstairs. And it just, that was a long, long night. But one of my favorite experiences this year was the East-West games were split in two, so you had the 1 to 3A and the 4 to
Yep.
6A, and that was great.
Mhm.
And the kids loved it. They ate it up. So, guys, listen, I know a lot of you guys want to you opt out of those games, but I can tell you, play the game, okay? Just get in and play the game and have fun. And I guess we spend a lot of time trying to pick the players out of this,
Yeah.
and then they accept and they say yes, and then the last minute they bail. But you're missing out on a great experience. It's a brotherhood, man. And
Yeah.
you do it for a long time.
Even for the East-West game for the 4 to 6A, I'm pretty sure the West squad had like 8 kids not show up for the game, and they showed up for practice but didn't show up for the game.
Yeah, so that's tough, and it puts a lot of people. You're letting a lot of people down. So try not to do that.
But another thing that I bet you're not looking forward to this year is spring football.
That was a great experience, though.
It was a great experience, but you can also say that I remember you saying it all year that it was your longest year of high school football ever.
It was the longest year. And listen, the most ironic thing is, we have a guy who travels to the country and does football for us. And you can see that section on Beyond the Keystone on PAFootballNews.com. There are actually 2 guys, Dave, and his nickname is Psychotic. S-Y, but he's far from it. He's like a giant teddy bear.
Exactly.
He is. And so he travels around. But, yeah, I mean, going to Philadelphia every week was an amazing experience. I mean, we got to see teams that I don't think I would ever see. And we got to see players. And we got some really great stories out of it, too.
Yeah.
I mean,
the female from Kensington, I wrote a story about her.
Yep. What about the kid we met at Goose Poo Field?
Yes. What was that? Edison and Fells that had the prosthetic
leg.
Yeah, I remember that kid. Yeah, that was a while ago. But
we had some interesting stories.
Yeah, for sure. But also got to see a lot of good football. Imhotep and West Catholic was the last game. Yeah, Newman Grady, Northeast. Saw a lot of good football teams.
Yeah, we saw some good football teams, and kudos to those guys down there. They put some football teams together that came out. They may have played only 1 or 2 games. I think South Philadelphia played 2 games, but they grabbed a bunch of players from different teams. What a lot of people didn't realize was, and I didn't know this, was some of those kids were working.
Yeah.
And could not play football. They were working, and they had to work to bring the money in. But and then we had
Penwood.
We had some good stuff. Penwood
didn't have a team until 4 days before their first game, is what their head coach told me in an interview. And then they came out and beat Academy Park, which was a really good team that in the spring, and it was impressive.
Without that win or that loss, they would have played
in the United 10 championship.
In the championship, but instead we got another championship out of it. We got what?
Yeah,
we got Chester and then and Truman, but then we didn't have Chester and Truman.
Yeah,
because through some kind of miscommunication and all kind of stuff like that, they didn't do it. Then they did it. Then they didn't do it, and
it was
all that kind of
it was
stuff.
Interesting.
So, and then finally, it came through, and I remember one of the heartbreaking times that year was we had a trophy football made up, and when they canceled that game, and I tried to hand Chester's coach the ball, and he's like, "I don't want it, man."
Yeah,
I don't want it. Take it back. I got to earn that ball. He said, I don't care. If we don't play it, I don't want the ball. And so I made him take it anyway. And then about 2 days later, they called me up and they said, Billy, we're playing the game. So we got to go down. We got to watch a championship game. It was a good game, too.
It was a very
Truman
good game.
And Chester. We saw some great athletes. A quarterback from Chester was a great athlete. Sincere
Thomas, yeah.
He was a pretty good athlete.
Yeah, from Truman.
Did some good stuff. And, of course, Ken Talley from Northeast. We got to see him play.
Keon Wiley
from Imhotep. And
a bunch of Imhotep kids that were just amazing to watch.
And some of the guys from Newman Grady. And then, you can't leave out, you didn't get a chance to see them, but Bartram had a couple of dudes that could play ball.
I remember seeing
there. And then we have the sad side of Philadelphia football where we've lost a couple of players this year and one recently. So, our hearts and our prayers go out to you folks. And I know it's just difficult and it's tough. And I wish I had a solution to figure out how to take care of all that, but I don't.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. But,
we just need our leadership down there needs to step in because we can't have this happening to our kids. But the other thing I'm definitely looking forward to this year too, Tristan, is just enjoying football.
Yeah, you can't. You love it. You can't get away from it.
I get to enjoy football. Last year it was so much work. And by the way, we got off track. We were talking about our friend Psychotic. So as soon as the Philadelphia season was over, we find out New York's going to play football.
Yep. And he went to New York.
So he starts going to New York. He goes into the city. Okay, that was New York City ball. And then he finds out New York State is going to play football. So he's going to football up above Buffalo and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going up there. And they get to the New York Championship. The last game of that's it. There's no more football coming. And the game ends in a 20-20 tie, and they have to go to overtime. So it was only fitting.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It was only fitting that happened. And
he just went to Georgia recently, so making his way back to Pennsylvania here this week,
Yeah, he started his season in Georgia. He's coming back to Pennsylvania this week. He's going to do a few games in Pennsylvania, and he lost the Thursday night game and had to replace it already. So, it's that's what it is, So that's what we're looking forward to, and that's what we won't miss this year.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm also looking forward to talking to players and coaches, and we got a pretty darn good coach and a couple of good football players coming up here in a few minutes. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to hear from Munderwear. Munderwear is all American made, and it's a product that's worth taking a look at. He makes some really fun stuff. All right, guys.
From the land of the free, the home of the brave, Munderwear's made in the USA. We'll never take a knee, we will always stand. We don't use sweatshirts from foreign lands. Support our troops every day. Wearing the American made underwear by far. American strong we are. Underwear.
All right, we're back live, and look at this. We come back live, and we get another guest with us. Ladies and gentlemen, the ever-famous, ever-popular Jesse Nagel from Bald Eagle area. How you doing, Jesse? Good to see you, man.
Pretty good, buddy. How are you?
I'm doing good.
I'm
doing good.
Down.
Yeah, you can take that down. These are brand new. We've never used these, and I have spare windscreens, so we can keep them clean. But, Jesse, it's football season, buddy.
Yeah.
Are the Eagles ready to go?
Yeah, I think so. It's a process here. We're each week we're getting better, and I thought today was a really nice practice. So excited to see what they do on Friday night.
It's different this year than it was last year, isn't it?
I think so. I think so. I mean, I'm wearing a mask again, unfortunately. So I don't know how much different it is. I mean, for us it is because we actually had an off season. We could prepare some of these young kids. Last year we didn't have that chance. So, for those regards, yeah, it's excellent. But, unfortunately we're still battling this thing called COVID, and it kind of stinks.
Yeah, let's get this other guy back in behind your buddy there. You're out of the camera right now. We have two guys here. So just so you know, Jesse, tell us who we got here.
We got, first Hayden Vaughn. Hayden's a running back, slot, linebacker. Then Hunter McCool, D-line, O-line. We have another one coming, but, he told us he was on the Benner Pike, and that was like 20 minutes ago. So he's not in the Benner Pike.
No, he's not. It doesn't seem that way, huh?
Yeah, he's not.
So I'll ask Hayden a question. So what do you think is going to be the biggest difference between last year and this year for your team, being able to have fans in the atmosphere and just playing football again at just being normal?
Be more prepared because we had an off season, and the fans bring a little more excitement to the game.
Peyton, you missed that off season, don't you? That's a big difference. Like, that's a big difference maker, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
What about you, Hunter? What are you most excited for this year?
Mostly going out and being able to hit someone and having the fans and stuff back and being able to go for the state title and stuff.
Awesome. So
that's a big goal, Jesse.
That is a big goal, man. That was really lofty.
He threw that right out there.
Yeah, let's go. Make playoffs first, then district title, then a state title.
Yeah, he threw that right out there. He was like, "Yeah, we're gonna go for that."
Yeah. Let's go baby steps. Let's go week one.
Yeah. So talk about your team, Jesse. You're a young team, but you're not a young team.
Yeah, I think we return a bunch, but we had an excellent junior high team that a lot of kids are coming up right now and producing right away. So we're probably the deepest we've ever been at the skill position. We probably have 8 kids that can play on Friday nights. Line wise, we're getting depth there. Still a lot of young kids up front that we're trying to develop, but we're really excited about this year.
Yeah, are you excited about this guy? Step in between us here, buddy.
Yeah, this is Garrett Burns. He was a quarterback, running back, linebacker. He's definitely one of our leaders on both sides of football.
Yeah, we got to ask the other two guys, what are you looking forward to this year?
Winning games, sure. Hit people. Looking to start 1-0 this Friday and then making a run for district title.
How was the off season for you?
Real good, actually. A lot better than last season. This year we got to go practice up at Big Penn State 7-on-7, so that was different. And then just getting together with our guys and without social distancing there, everything.
I'm going to ask each one of you, what is a game that you have circled every year? What is a game you have circled for this year?
Probably Penn's Valley, just getting back at them, especially from last year, and then just getting after it at pretty much every game.
Hayden, what about you? What game do you have circled?
Definitely Penns Valley, going back there.
Yeah.
I think they're saying this because you're right here.
I know. It must be.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tristan Kleinfelder went to Penns Valley High School. So
they beat me up my senior year, but it's all right. I forgot about it.
So that's 2 Penns Valley. Do we have another one?
Yeah, Penn Valley.
Yeah. So you don't even care about Bellefonte anymore. It's just Penns Valley now, right?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Pretty much.
But that's a big game too.
Yeah.
Right, Jesse?
Yeah, it is. I mean, every game's a big game. I mean, I try to tell these guys, the biggest game right now is this Friday night. We got to go up to Troy, and it's a pretty good distance. So, hopefully they got a lot more than just that one circled. That's for sure.
Yeah, talk about Troy and your opponent coming up.
They're tough. They're tough up front. They got 2 huge guys up front, at both over 300 pounds. One kid getting multiple Division I looks, and he's a real deal.
Uh-huh.
They're going to play us multiple fronts, so give our guys a lot of adjustments to make. And hopefully we did enough, these last couple of weeks, because we've been preparing for them for the last 2 weeks. So hopefully we're ready to go.
Jesse, the Bald Eagle program, you guys don't usually have a set offense that you use. It seems like you're very good at using the personnel you have.
Right.
2 years ago, you had a quarterback wide receiver connection that just all of a sudden clicked in midseason, and that's what you went with for the rest of the year.
Yep.
And that's what you're looking at this year. So what are you looking at?
Yeah, I mean, I think we have multiple different things. We have a heavy package in, we got a speed package, we have 5 wide, we got 2 tight end looks. I mean, so whatever we feel that we can take advantage of the other teams, we're going to do it. If we could have and you saw this a couple years ago, we got a 3,000-yard passer sitting on the bench in district finals the last 10 minutes of the game because we could run heavy and get first downs. So whatever it takes to win, that's our philosophy.
And what's it like playing in the shadow of Beaver Stadium? I mean, it's a football area.
Oh, it's great. I mean, Friday nights is nothing like it. I mean, getting chills right now just saying that. When you're coming to Center County, you're going to definitely football's rich around here, and you want to live up to that too.
Yeah, Hayden, the community that I know the area, so your community is huge behind you guys. How important is that for a team?
It's great seeing everyone come out, the stands filled. Since we missed out last year, I'm excited for it this year.
Yeah, it's a big deal to me too. Like I can't wait personally to see fans in the stands, Jesse.
Yeah,
you're exactly right. I some things, you give some free ice cream away, some shirts, everything else get as made.
Wait. What night is ice cream night?
Actually, I think it's going to be Penns Valley. So
okay. I'll have to come to that one.
Yeah. So,
well, there you go, Tristan. Free ice cream at the Penns Valley game.
Yeah. What we're going to do is as much as we can to get to
Yeah, you got to turn that camera.
So
Yeah,
we got to figure out how to get them back.
and how important is it to have the fans at a stand for you guys? Like, what does that do for you as a team?
Changes the whole atmosphere. I mean, last year, we had no fans at all. We still played good, but I think if we get that atmosphere back, it changes a lot for us.
Yeah, gives you that home.
You didn't for.
You didn't have home field advantage last year.
Right. because like when somebody come to our field, it's like the same kind of atmosphere for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then you play some tough teams too. Like at the end of this year, yeah, you got that Jersey Shore team that every year, and
Yep.
you don't back down.
Now, I mean, that they're going to come and bring it every snap, and we love to play them. I think it's a great physical game, getting us ready for the playoffs. We invite every team in to get us better, because at the end of the day, if even we go 6-4 and we win a district title, as long as we're getting ready as the season goes on, that's how we look at things.
Yo, I agree 100%. I mean, I'm from Berwick, and it's to be the best, you got to beat the best.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're playing people that you can just run right over, it doesn't do anything for you. Talk about the Mountain League that you're in right now. It's kind of struggling right now, but still good competition.
Yeah, I mean, top to bottom, you're going to get a game every single week. You got to buckle up, and you got to be ready, be prepared, and ready to play every week. No question. It is struggling a little bit. We need a couple more teams coming in here, or maybe we're going to have to join some forces with some other conferences. But we know every single week. For now and this year, maybe next year, whatever, until we can figure out if we're combining, then we have to prepare every week for maybe it's our last game.
Yeah, and in the teams that you guys play, you're not playing all teams that are your size. You got Bellefonte is a 4A team, and Clearfield was 4, and now they're a 3A team, and then Phillipsburg is a 3A team. So I mean, it's not like you're in there with teams your size. I think you and Penns Valley are the smallest schools.
Yeah, we are, and for us, when we made our district title runs and stuff, we always said that, until Sharon, we felt that. Our first year we played 3 teams better than everybody we faced until Sharon. Now the second year when we went to the state semis, a little bit different. Bedford was, as good, if not better than anybody on our schedule. But that being said, all those teams we played on our schedule got us prepared for those games.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. Tristan, you're a Penns Valley guy. You had a nice year
Yeah.
at Penns Valley. You know the importance of playing good competition.
Yeah, definitely. It gets you ready, and it gets you motivated, beating a team that's better than you, and especially whenever you beat your rival, anytime you do that. So it's pretty fun. But I have a question for you guys. We talk about team goals all the time. You want to go to the district title, but what do you want to accomplish personally this year? Start with whoever wants to go first.
What do you want to, on the field or off the field, what is your top priority this year? That's a tough one, isn't it?
Hunter, you want to start?
These guys don't have any priorities.
Well, some individual goals.
Yeah,
guys.
yeah.
Individual goals. Just name one.
Yeah. Don't have any?
No.
They don't got no.
Hey, you know why that is.
You know what? He's like, pancake somebody.
Yeah. Well, you know what it is. We always talk that team concept. We don't need individual goals. So,
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
That works right into that.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Now Garrett probably has one. Garrett, yeah.
I'd say for mine would be being one of the top rushers at Bald Eagle area, and then most tackles at linebacker. That's just what I'd go for.
It's always good to have a goal.
Yeah.
I mean, like you don't have to worry about reaching it, but it's always good to have a goal.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of coaches will say like, "Oh, we play as a team," and I hear that a lot. We're a team. We're not going to focus on one guy. We're a team. But if you got a kid that wants to throw for 3,000 yards, he helps your team with his desire to reach that too.
Yeah.
You just got to ring that in, right?
Yeah. I think there's a happy medium. Like I said, for us, if it's Garrett rushing for 1,000, Hayden catching 1,000, well, whoever it is, we don't care as long as we're winning games. So there's been a lot of times that you look, like I said in the past, that everybody's like, oh, you got to stop this kid to stop that kid, and then another kid blows up, because we changed it up a little bit. So I think the personal goals, there's no question, it's a great thing to have, but I mean, like a kids, why they got kind of stumped is we usually don't talk about personal goals. It's all about team. So
Yeah, that's a good thing. So, you opened up in Troy, so you don't have a conference game to start the year, but that's a long travel for you guys.
Yeah, long travel with a mask on.
Yeah.
Yeah, about 2.5 hours on the bus with a mask on. Not going to be real fun.
It's always fun to travel, though.
Yeah, it is. I mean, we kind of, felt we were kind of the road warriors, that you're playing in playoffs how many weeks in a row, 5 weeks or 6 weeks, whatever it was. 2 years in a row. You felt like you're always on the road and you learn to do it.
Mhm.
But again, that was a couple years ago. This is a whole new group of kids, so just getting them to focus when they're on the road it might be a little bit of challenge. So we'll see.
Yeah, definitely. The farthest I traveled for a football game was probably 3 hours. Border New York, Kawanesky Valley.
Yep.
So
And they typically don't have a very good team, so you're all right there.
yeah, definitely. Good way to end off the year.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely it is. So, but guys, I'm glad you guys came over. The reason we did this is because we have this thing in this area called the Grange Fair every year, and every year the Grange Fair pulls all the Center County teams and one from over the mountain, and they bring them in and they do this long thing, but they didn't do that for you guys this year. So, PA Football News felt like, hey, let's get those guys in here. And it's the center of the state. We don't get a lot of spotlight on the center of the state very often. So we wanted to put a little spotlight on you guys and get you in here and give your kids some recognition and your team some recognition. What's one thing that you want to tell your fans out there right now?
Well, I would just say let's get it going and come up to Troy or watch us on the YouTube. Hopefully we can light it up like we did a couple years ago. We feel that offensively and defensively we're going to be as good as we ever have been. So hopefully we can perform.
Awesome. Thanks for coming here, guys.
Thanks,
I
buddy.
appreciate you guys being here.
Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, Jesse. Thanks for coming.
Yep,
thanks,
thanks.
guys. Appreciate it. Thanks for being late. All right, guys. Thanks a lot, man. I appreciate it. So right now we're going to take another commercial break, and we're going to bring in another team. We've got the Little Lions of State College coming in with a couple of guys here. And so let's take a commercial right now, and let's hear from Coach Com.
Coach Com is the proven and trusted leader in coaching communications. For over 30 years, we've built our business on innovation and winning, with the goal to equip your team with the best coaching communication available. 97% of all FBS programs and thousands of high schools and colleges across the U.S. choose Coach Com because Coach Com has the experience and the know-how to provide the very best in technology and winning solutions.
All right, we're back live here at C3 Sports in State College. And we want to thank Jesse Nagel and the Bald Eagle area team for coming in here, and a couple of guys. And what's special about Bald Eagle is Jesse Nagel was not a head coach a few years ago. He went in there and he really turned that program around.
It was
He
amazing.
did a great job.
Yeah.
And every year they're really good. Now, last year they didn't have a good year, but he belongs to the member of a coaching tree that's just an amazing coaching tree. It started with Al Wolski at State College High School.
Mm-hmm.
And then when Al decided to leave, we had another guy step up, and his name was Matt Lintel. Matt Lintel and his father coached together. Matt's from the Wellsboro area. And we've got Matt now. Matt, why don't you come up here and join us, Matt? Come on up here and join us over here, buddy.
Oh, you sit right in the middle.
All right, come on up here, guys. Check it out. Man, we got a whole bunch of State College guys coming in here.
With you.
You brought a pile of them, huh?
Whole captain crew.
All right, come on in here. You guys can all get behind us here.
Down here.
Yes, sir. Pretty good. How about you?
Good.
All right,
Go, buddy.
a couple of you guys over here on the other side. You got to come on in behind us, guys. You want to get in the camera. Where are the edges? Me and that young man down there. Look at the size of these guys. Come on in here in the background. Hey, while we're loading these guys in here, I want to thank Funding Zone Funding Zone is the sponsor of our show, and welcome to the show, Matt.
Glad to be here, man. Thanks for having us,
I bet
Billy.
you never thought we'd get this far, did you?
Well, I thought we were there, and then we're back in a mask. But hey, well, I'm glad we got
You know what?
football going, and I'm excited about it.
We're here.
We're
and
here.
That's all that matters.
No doubt.
So, Matt, who did you bring with you today?
So we got our 6 captains. So we got 4 seniors and 2 juniors with us. So we'll start over here. Slot back TJ Yoder. We got linebacker Jack Roshot. We've got J Dub. All right, John Scott. He's a linebacker for us. He's a junior. All right, Steven Skortis, another junior defensive end H-back. Kyle Kersinger, the other defensive end and H-back. And Jashawn Green, another senior wide receiver defensive back.
We were just talking to Jesse Nagel from Bald Eagle area, and I had mentioned the coaching tree that's coming out of State College. And it's a pretty neat thing to see everybody coming out from underneath Al Wolski.
Yeah.
And, Jesse coached with you and Al, and so.
No, Jesse was actually my first hire back at State College. And
Yep.
so I was fortunate to work under Al and obviously worked at Bucknell University prior to that. And we've been able to have a bunch of great coaches, and we lost a few this past year, to retirement and to a couple family obligations and things. And I think the replacements that we've been fortunate enough to find have been outstanding.
What was it like to coach under Al Wolski?
It was awesome. Al taught me a lot of things. He really did. He really is a great football coach. Had a great mind for the game. Was very intense with coaching football and loved every second of it. He was one of those constant learners. Every day, every year, he had been doing it for years and years on end. He knew he always had more to learn, and I really took that from him. And he knew there was more than one way to run a play, and he wanted to know every way and know how to do it really well.
Yeah, he was a great coach. He was also one of my favorite interviews. He was, and win or lose, he was always a gentleman.
Yes.
And that's how I picture Al Wolski, was a gentleman. And then you took over the reins, and you kept it going, Matt. You were able to keep State College going and keep the pride and the tradition, and talk about how difficult it is. You're in a college town. You're in State College, Pennsylvania, and there are transients coming in and going out. How difficult is that, or is that an easy flow for you?
It's a blessing, can be a curse. We've lost some kids that you don't want to lose sometimes, that have moved on to other places. But at the same point, we've gained a bunch of guys, JW and one of them here with this group, of guys that moved into town and became contributors. The nice thing about our community is that it is transient, and that these kids that grow up in State College are used to that. So when a new kid shows up, there's 90 kids that they're immediately friends with, and they get integrated not just onto the football team, but into our school as well. And our kids really are open and accepting of everyone. That's awesome.
So you're talking about community. How excited are you for fans to be back?
Oh my gosh, it's been so long.
They haven't even been able to use the new stadium yet.
So last year was a complete tease. Where we have this beautiful new stadium that we have not had fans in yet, and we had parents there, thankfully, last year. So it's been 2 years. None of these guys have played at Memorial Field with a full set of stands, right? Yeah. All right. So I think we have one kid who's a senior, not here tonight, but Ryan D'Amico, who was the only kid in this graduating class that has played with fans at Memorial Field. So
now, I will say this about State College: one of the best student/band sections in the state, one of the best and loudest.
100%.
When you're at Memorial Field, that's where you're at because of that section right there. They're loud and proud, and they get after it. One of the great things I loved about going to State College games is after the game, the band always has a concert, and you guys have to respect that kind of that concert thing going on. But this year, like 2 years ago, when the game was over, we got our interviews, and you guys were out of there.
Yep.
You had to go get dressed. You had to go to another facility.
Yeah.
This year,
we'll be there. What's awesome is we will dismiss from Memorial Field on Friday nights. We don't have to bus back to the school. We finally have locker rooms. We have home space. Our facility, I believe, is the absolute best in the state. I've been to schools all over the country when I was recruiting for Bucknell, and it rivals nearly everything that I've seen other than Texas.
It's one of my favorite stadiums too, because of the way just the situation, the way it sits down in. It's just a unique place to be at.
Yep.
And I haven't seen the new stadium
I was able
yet.
to.
You saw it
Against Harrisburg.
If you haven't seen it yet, Maddie, where can they find pictures of it on your website?
Yeah, there's some on the website. Obviously, our social media. Jacob Will is actually here with us tonight. He runs all of our social media, and Jacob does a great job of capturing not just what it looks like to walk through Memorial Field, but but what it feels like. And he captures those moments. And so hopping onto our State College football Twitter feed, and you can see a lot of that, or we're on Instagram as well. And people can see that, but we'll have a lot more footage after this year. So we're looking forward to getting the fans back in there and having that bright new stadium ready to roll.
All right, I'm going to ask the guys back here, what does it mean to you guys to be able to be in that stadium this year with people?
Oh, it means so much. I mean, like none of us, I don't think, have ever experienced that on the field. So it's just going to be a new type of energy for us, and I just can't wait for it.
What are you looking forward to this year?
All of us have always been in the park. We've always been the middle schoolers in the park watching. So this stadium means so much to us, and to actually have fans and parents and grandparents, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We can pull this handheld mic over here too, guys.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Pull that handheld mic out of that stand and bring it over to you. That's it. There you go.
Shawnee, you got the mic.
That's it. You've got a mic in your hand. You can use that one there.
Being a new guy coming into State College, like transferring in, it was a big deal. These guys were really accepting, and seeing Memorial all brand new and packed out, that was crazy, you know.
Yeah, where'd you come from?
North Carolina.
You came from North Carolina,
Yes,
ladies and
sir.
gentlemen, from North Carolina.
Yeah.
So that's what we were talking about, Matt. The transient part of it, like people are coming in and going out, and it's like you didn't go to North Carolina to recruit this guy. Like somebody got a job, and there he is.
Yes, sir.
And what year are you this year?
2023.
You're
Yes,
at
sir.
2023, so
Yes,
you're
sir.
a junior.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So you got one more year with this guy.
Yes,
Go
sir.
ahead. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Well, I just want to say I'm so ready for the environment to be packed out. I've heard so much about the games, and I'm really, really excited.
Yeah.
For me personally, same thing as everybody else. I'm just really excited for the student section, the band, and all the fans to be back. It's been a long time. We've been seeing Memorial under construction ever since I was in high school, and same for all you guys. So I'm excited to see the crowds there and see everybody back. It's going to be a whole new energy, and I can't wait to get at it. So.
Right down to you. Go ahead.
And for me, it's definitely going to be the student section. And like Jack said, all the hype before being an eighth grader, being in the parklet, man, it's like a dream just playing in front of everyone. Friday night lights, just the best feeling ever.
I mean, we haven't played there in a minute, so like for all of us, we're ready to on the new field, ready to come compete. And for everybody who steps on the field, we're ready to come beat them. Everybody who steps on the field, we're just going to take over.
Matt, I got a critical question for you.
All right. What's that, Billy?
So with the new stadium, we have to have a new entrance now. Used to come down the hill and in that way. What do we do? Did you guys work out a new entrance to the field?
We still come down the ramp. So there's still a ramp that comes out in the end zone. It's a little bit different, and the band still leads us on the field and leads us out towards our home crowd. So for all of the other end of halftime, end of the warm ups, we go straight in and out of the locker room.
Mhm.
But for the entrance
So you're still coming down the hill with the
keeping
band.
the old tradition, going out in the back alley and coming down the ramp.
It's one of the better entrances for a high school football team. It's one of the better entrances that I've ever seen. I know Dan Reed, who's back home producing this show right now. How you doing, Dan? He's going to Mount Carmel this week, and they have a parade that starts like their stadium is at one end of the town, and their high school's at the other end. They start at the high school, and they have fire trucks and the band and everything. They have a parade, and they come all the way down and into the stadium, right down Main Street and into the stadium. It's something to see there too.
Oh, that's awesome.
So they get the number one spot on
There
my
you go.
entrance.
We'll give them that.
But we'll give you number two. So Matt, let's get right into it. We talked about this the other night down in Harrisburg. We had a coaches show down there. You play in the toughest league in the state.
Yeah, we 100% agree, and we know that, and it prepares us year in and year out. You have to be ready. There's no games that you can be down for. You have to be ready to go versus everybody. But it prepares these kids to grow, to show up. It helps you when you get to playoffs because you've seen tough competition. You've played against Division I kids. You've played against full scholarship kids at elite levels. So when we get to playoffs, it's not a shock when you're facing more of those guys. So,
no, it's not. And I can remember one particular day about 6 years ago, this young guy he was a freshman named Micah Parsons came in and just just destroy you guys almost single-handedly. So that's the kind of talent you guys see on a regular basis. And then this year, once in a while, you have years where like 3 teams are good. Like you, Harrisburg, Central Dolphin, and then the other guys are rebuilding. But CD East has some new stuff going on there, and some of these other teams, Cumberland Valley, Josh Oswald's going to have those guys ready to
For
rock
sure.
for war.
Great coach.
And
Yep.
by the way, just so you know, you don't even know what you're about to get into right now. Okay, North Carolina does not have a conference like the Commonwealth. They don't. There just isn't one like that. Okay, so it's fire and storm every week.
And it's awesome, and we love being a part of it, and we're happy to be a part of it. These guys are kind of road warriors. They're used to jumping on, and there's not many high school football teams that their average travel is 2 hours, and that's about what ours is for every away game. And our kids hop on the bus. They don't know any different. They just show up and be ready to play. So we look at it as an advantage. We get used to that, and then when teams have to come 2 hours to us, that's a change for them. That's something different. It's a little bit more of a headache. So we try to use that to our advantage and really embrace that time together.
So you've said in the past that you wouldn't trade this conference. You will never leave this conference. This is where you're staying.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love the coaches in it. We've built some great relationships with coaches from various schools, and
Cal, Glenn, they're all.
Yeah.
It's just a great and I got to meet some of the new coaches this week. So that was real nice. And I think they're going to do some nice things down there too.
I'm sure.
It's going to be a tough conference this year.
Yeah.
So you guys got your first game this week against Mifflin County. What are you most excited for?
Just ready to get back on the field and start competing with my brothers.
That bucket. You're after that bucket, right?
Keep the bucket at home.
Yeah. Have you seen the bucket yet?
We haven't brought it out. That's tomorrow.
So you don't know what the
I
bucket
didn't tell
is.
these guys. Yeah.
Dude, it is the most beautiful trophy in the entire world. I think the only prettier one is the Land Grant Trophy at Penn State.
No, the bucket has tons of meaning. It's a 7-sided bucket made from the 7 different types of wood found on the 7 mountain, which is in between us and Lewistown, which is Mifflin County. And Bob Fox, who is one of our counselors that just retired recently from one of our middle schools, he and his father actually made the bucket, and Bob is from the Lewistown area but worked in State College. So there's really a lot of connections with that bucket, and it's one of those things we love. The play for a bucket is something special. To have a trophy game is something special. So we hope that we can keep that going. I'm not sure if Mifflin County is intending on that from rumors that I keep hearing, but we want to keep this game going for a long time.
Yeah, it's a nice game. And the other thing is, like, because of the way the Min-Penn Commonwealth is structured, you do get to keep some of the rivalries. Like next week, this week you got over the mountain, and then you got Hollidaysburg with Homer.
In 2 weeks, we got Homer.
Yeah,
and
2
then,
weeks.
Yeah, with Hollidaysburg. Next week, we got Downingtown East at our place. So nice,
talk about
big
that
game.
one. That's how'd that one come about? They're coming all the way up here.
Yeah, it's great. We
have a reporter on their staff, by the way. So
nice.
Yeah,
nice.
So we have an insider.
All right. No, we're super excited to have. Obviously, in those first couple games, you want to make sure that you're really challenging yourself, and that'll be a big challenge. So we're excited to play a program we're not as familiar with, and obviously a very good program. So our kids will be ready, but we're focused on Mifflin County right now, and we'll get to them next week.
Yeah.
So you're from North Carolina. How does it feel coming into the area and just being able to be identified as a team captain? You're a new transfer. Just how does it feel in general?
Give him the microphone. He's got the microphone.
It means a lot to me. I moved here beginning of sophomore year, and these guys really took me in. Like, everybody surrounded by me took me in, gave me rides when I needed them. So being able to play in front of school is a big pride. I feel like I'm one of these guys. I stepped up this year, I feel like, and I feel like the whole team stepped up. Everybody here stepped up. Everyone worked really hard. So I'm really proud to be a captain with one of these guys. It's a great honor.
So did you play last season?
Yes, sir, I did play.
So you ready to finally play a full schedule?
Yeah, I'm so ready. It was like a little tease last year, but I mean, all of us worked hard. All of us stepped up. So I think we're gonna be really good.
In that Altoona game, that was a heartbreaker.
Yeah, it was a heartbreaker. I dropped a couple tears after that one. So
yeah, and then you went and played Monday against Harrisburg so that they could actually be able to advance to the playoffs. But then it got canceled anyway.
they
So
got
that was awesome. That was,
Yeah,
that was definitely
that was a
awesome by
good
you guys,
move.
for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah,
Yeah.
it's the only question I have for you, buddy.
Right.
Thank you.
All right. So let's just go right down the line, and we'll start at this end. And personal goals for the season.
Yes, no one from Bald Eagle had one, so I'm hoping you guys have some.
They didn't have any personal goals. I mean, I blame Jesse Nagel on that.
Personal goal is probably receive over 1,000 yards.
Okay.
That's a lofty goal.
Definitely.
Achievable at State College in that offense. A lot of Oklahoma, though.
Yeah.
I'd say for me, try to get close to leading the team in sacks.
Uh-huh.
That's a big goal of mine, knowing that my brother had a really big goal for himself as well.
And who's your brother?
Kevin Kersinger.
Yeah, Kevin, he was an animal. Yeah, he was an animal playing for Duquesne, and one heck of a football player.
As for me, just like Kyle said, we're both DNs, so we're going to be competing on each side of the ball, and I'm trying to get as many sacks as possible. And I know it's a big goal, but I'm trying to get all state. That's been my goal for a long time as a freshman. So I'm working towards that and just doing my best with all my teammates.
You got to do a good job. Your coach nominates you.
Right.
So what's the reward for who gets the most sacks?
I don't know. We do have a steak dinner for defensive players that get a touchdown. So I don't know. We might carry that over, but we'll have to see. It's going to be competitive. So I'm excited. Can't wait.
I think my biggest goal is to lead the team in tackles this year, and I also want to lead the team in forced fumbles. So I think that's a big thing.
That's a good goal.
Yes, sir.
You can just talk into that one.
I hope to get a pick six, probably. Hopefully get a pick six. I want our defense to get the most picks in the conference. I definitely think it's possible because we have a really good defense this year.
I don't really have any specific goals. I just want to be able to contribute as much as possible to this team because, I think we're all ready for that, and I just can't wait.
What game means the most to you this year?
That's a trick question, Billy. Mifflin County does right now.
That's it.
So we're
one game at a time.
One game at a time.
That's the answer I was looking for. Yeah, one game at a time.
Yeah.
But Matt, I'm excited for you guys. I can't wait to come down and see the facility. I think I'm going to come to that game next week.
Great.
I want to be a part of that. I want to see the stadium. I want to get a tour. I want to see a great team come in from down in the Philadelphia area. That should be exciting. I want to see that band. I want to see the crowd. Listen to, if any of you guys, kids are out there, I want to hear you. All right. Mm-hmm. Be loud. I want to hear that band too. One of my favorite ones was when Harrisburg comes up and their drum corps comes in and
their band is
it's
fantastic.
Just amazing.
Yeah.
Matt, I'm glad you guys came over. I appreciate you guys taking the time. It's a pleasure to meet you and all of you guys. Good to see you guys again. And I look forward to seeing you guys sometime down the road. I know I'll see you in 2 weeks, but thanks for coming. And we hope you guys have a great and injury-free season.
Thank you, Billy. Hey, appreciate what you guys do for high school football, and thanks for all your support always.
Thanks a lot,
Thank
Matt.
you guys.
Have a good one.
Yep.
All right, guys, we're going to take a break right now, and we're going to come back. We got another team coming in here. We're going to talk some more football, but I want to thank State College for coming here, guys. Thanks a lot. Welcome to Pennsylvania, my friend. I didn't get to welcome you last year, but welcome to PA. So
Good luck.
we'll come back after a few words from another sponsor. My friends at Vapor Trail.
When you step out on that field, everyone is equal. Talent, it means nothing. They may be more talented than you, but if you show more heart, if you show more focus, if you just decide this day that you will never accept second place to anyone, if you do that, if you all do that, there's no one we cannot defeat, and there's no one that will want to challenge us ever again. So do you want to go out there like every other player, like every other team, or do you want to stand up this day to make this day count? Make it count.
All right, we're back live, and thanks to the Little Lions for joining us. Thanks, Matt. Thanks for being here, guys. stepping in here right now, leaning in, is a new guy. He's a new old guy.
New
All
old
right.
guy. I like it.
All right. Vaughn Donmore, right?
Donmore, yes.
Yep. All right, Vaughn, he's a head coach from Bellefonte. And another one of them coaching tree things, Jesse coached with Matt. You coached with Jesse Nagel.
Yes, sir. Yes.
So, and then Shannon Manning left for another pasture.
Yes.
And
I coached with him for a couple of years.
And you coach. It's just one big happy family around here, isn't it?
Definitely, yes.
All right. So Vaughn's here, and Vaughn's the new head coach at Bellefonte. And Vaughn, how excited are you to take the reins, man?
Oh, I'm very excited. I'm extremely honored to be a part of the Bellefonte football tradition and hopefully lead it to continued success.
And it's a new tradition, right?
Yes.
We are now the
Yes.
Raiders.
Yes. Yes, the Raiders.
So there's now the Bellefonte Raiders. They've removed the color from the name out of respect for the American Indians, or however you want to say it. So we went through a little change there, but it's still the same thing. It's Bellefonte. It's red. It's got that big B. That's a lot of pride. So, like,
playing the game of football.
You got a lot to do.
That's what we're focused on. We're just going to go out and play football.
Yeah.
So actually, just like State College, we were just talking about this right before. You know, they have a new stadium. Haven't been able to play with a full set of fans, and you guys have a new stadium. How does it feel to have full fans again?
It'll be an awesome feeling. I'm sure the players behind me are extremely excited to go out there and perform for them. I know our goal as a program is to get those stands packed as much as possible.
Yeah, that's definitely a good thing. And, you know, you have your first game this Friday against a really good opponent in Jersey Shore. You know, what are you looking forward to in that game being your first game as the Raiders head coach?
It's a tough opening game, but as a program, we're going to go out on Friday night and compete as you know, as much as we can compete, and we'll see where it takes us. We're going there looking forward to win.
It's nothing like getting thrown right into the fire, huh?
That's all right.
Yeah.
That's the way we want it.
So Vaughn, who do we have here? Who'd you bring with you?
We have Dylan McCloskey right here. We have Lee Prisby. Behind me, we have Thomas Gorman. We have Reese Redmond over here, and we have Nolan Weaver on my left.
How you doing, guys? Good to see you guys here. Redmond, are you related to any of the other Redmonds from Bellefonte, like Redmond Stadium or anything like that?
I mean, probably.
Yeah, maybe down the line somewhere like that. So let's do Tristan. Let's do the same thing, guys. We'll start down here on the corner. Personal goals for the season.
I just want to lead my team to victory and have a successful season. I really don't have much personal goals. I just want to play my best and play my hardest and go win football games.
That's a personal goal.
Yeah.
That is a
Yeah.
Just like we
personal
said
goal.
in his player preview.
Yeah.
Exactly. Pretty much the same answer.
Yeah. And we did a lot of those player previews.
Yes, we
too.
did. Yes, we did.
We did a ton, over 700.
Yes.
So that was a long thing. But what's your goal this year? Any kind of goal.
I'd just say my personal goal is to make sure I leave everything out there for my last season. If it is the last season of football I get to play, make sure everything I got is left on the field. No regrets.
Yeah. Why don't you step down there and grab that microphone and tell us what your personal goal is.
My personal goal is to come out, be most physical kid on the field, and leave nothing. We'll get the W every time.
He's got that fire plug look to him too. Like those are the guys you gotta look out for, man. I mean, they come after you. All right, we're going right here.
So my goal, I just want to go out there like my other players have said, and just leave everything out there and be as physical as possible. That's just it.
I'd say my personal goal for this year is try to win as many games as possible and start the new program off with success and be a great leader.
All right, so we did that. So let's ask another question that we ask everybody. We'll see if we get an answer.
Yeah, we'll see.
We're gonna get.
We'll have to see.
What game do you circle on your calendar every year?
Bald Eagle.
Bald Eagle.
Bald Eagle.
I'd say Bald Eagle and a little bit of Jersey Shore since it is the first one.
I'd say Bald Eagle.
Wow. Okay. I like the answers this time. I did not like them the last time.
All right. So just so you guys know, you weren't here, but all the guys from Bald Eagle, didn't have the same answer. They want Penns Valley.
And that's my alma mater. So
Yeah, Tristan here played for Penns Valley, but I mean, we talked with Jesse earlier this year. No matter what you do, the Mountain League is not an easy run for any team, whether you're a 4A Bellefonte or you're 2A Penns Valley. There's no easy outs because Vaughn, each game is almost like a rivalry.
Yes, it is kind of. I mean, I've been in the business now for 20 years. I've been around probably most of the Mountain League coaches for quite some time as well. We all know each other. And I think we all come to that conclusion that it's a tough league. That you don't have any gimmies week in and week out. It's pretty much one tough game right after another. And I try to instill that to the athletes that right now we're going to take one game at a time and then we'll move on from there.
Yeah, I mean, you've got Clearfield, and Clearfield's always a ranked team, whether they're 3A or 4A. They were 4A for a while, and then they're down to 3A.
Yeah.
So Clearfield's a tough guy. Penns Valley had a really good run of it the last 5 years. So, and then Jesse has done a great job transforming that program over there. Shannon did a good job. He gave you a great base and did a great job of lifting the Bellefonte program back. It's almost like a juggernaut.
Yes, I agree with that 100%.
Yeah. So how has the transition been for you with the community coming in as a new coach? How is that? Like, have you bonded with the community yet? Or you know a lot of them.
Yes. I mean, for the team wise, it's a little easy coming in, like teaching in the district and knowing the athletes already. That's been a big plus. Being able to hire coaches that have the same philosophy as me, and we're all on the same page. And when I got hired, I stressed that I want to be able to, give back to the community. I think the players should be able to have that opportunity to give back to the community as well, not as like a Friday night thing for the community to come and watch us play football. That's awesome. We love the support. We want to pack the stadium, like I said, but if we can give back to the community in any way, shape, or form possible, we want to be able to do that.
Yeah, and that's always important for any program is community support. Tristan, you know a little bit about.
Yeah, definitely. It's a big thing to have the community behind your back. They give you motivation on Friday nights, but then they also provide a lot, especially during camp. In Penns Valley, they gave us meals for 2 days and did all sorts of stuff for us. So yeah, community is important, but you guys got a big game coming up Friday, and what's it just like to play football normal again? Like, I asked you this in your player preview. How does it feel to be normal again?
Well, I really don't know that yet because we haven't played a normal football game yet. But it feels great to be able to know that there's many fans out there and all the cheerleaders and all the band people are me out there and everyone's having a good time watching football and playing football. I think having the fans there is definitely an important part because it just gets you ready to go even more.
Even past the whole fans part, but like this whole off season has kind of been normal compared to probably your senior, I assume.
Yeah.
So probably since your freshman and sophomore year, this year's so much more different. How do you think that's going to impact you guys in a positive way?
I just think we have a good solid base we've had a good solid base to build off of. We've been training in the weight room since May. And we just had that good base established and that good tight aspect of all the players being together.
And then in the eye of the coach, having an off season, how do you think that affects you guys in a positive way?
I thought it just brought the team closer together, especially since I'm new taking over the program. It was good to be able to have that opportunity to meet the kids face to face, not having to do things online. Yeah. So that was a big plus.
That is a big plus, and it's very important to any program. I'm glad you guys came by today. Being from the area, I always have just a little bit of a soft spot for the area teams. So, in the backside, I'm rooting for all the local teams, and because I want to see good football in this area. And that's another thing to talk about. It's not just the Mountain League. The Mountain League is almost like a brotherhood because Phillipsburg is right up the road, and you got Bald Eagle, Bellefonte right here next to each other. and Penns Valley right over the hill. So you guys like, is it? You guys know a lot of the players from the other teams personally?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say definitely like when we go over to the prospect camp, it's easy to get along with each other because we didn't know each other not only from football, but a lot of us play track and field. And when you're in a track and field meet, it's a lot easier to talk than when you're on a football field.
Yeah, and as far as that the combine, so for those of you out there that don't know, the District 6 coaches, that's the what is it, the association up here?
CPFCA.
CPFCA. They hold a combine with, I think, like what, 26 teams or something like that.
Huge.
It's huge.
Yeah.
So and I've worked a couple of them, and we've done some other ones, but so that brings a lot of these players all in here together to do this combine together. So it does help to know a lot of the guys, and like, do you guys rib on each other like in the off season heading up, because that's what we always did, so I know you guys do too, right?
Of course.
Yeah. So here's a question I didn't ask anybody else, but how many of you guys are on Twitter? How many guys follow at PA Football News? That's right. So give us a follow at PA Football News, because we're coming, and we're gonna tweet that out that we're coming to your town. But we're definitely going to be coming to Bellefonte here soon, and we cover all the Center County teams every week. So we find somebody to come and be a part of that. So again, thanks Bellefonte. Thanks Raiders for coming. Thanks guys. I appreciate you.
Thank
And
you
I
for
hope you
having
guys
us.
have a great,
Thank you.
healthy season. And I wish you a lot of success. I know everybody can't win every game, but I hope you guys at least are competing every game, and I hope the injury bug stays on the other side of the ocean for this season.
Every bug.
Yeah,
Especially
every bug.
every
I
bug.
hope all the bugs leave.
I agree with
Yeah,
that.
I agree with that too. Gentlemen, thanks a lot for being here.
Thank you.
We
It's-
appreciate
it's
you.
a pleasure having us.
Vaughn,
Thank
you.
Good luck in your first season as a head coach, buddy.
Thank you, sir.
I wish you much luck, man. Have a
Appreciate
good time. Have fun, man. Thanks a lot, guys. And again, the Bellefonte Raiders were here, and we're going to step away for a commercial right now and pay some bills. And also, I want to see these guys right here. This is the Funding Zone. If you're a team that's looking for money, you hook up with the Funding Zone. Go to thefundingzone.com and check them out. And you can get my guys, Mike Sikorsky and Mike DeFrancisco, a call. They'll help you out. We hooked them up with a team today. So thanks a lot, guys. Thanks for being here. We'll be right back after these messages.
Christ Community Church and C3 Sports and Event Center, partnering with Way Truth Life Radio, presents the Return the Joy concert series. Return the Joy features I Am They on September 26th.
But you love me anyway.
Sidewalk Prophets are coming on October 24th. And Stars Go Dim will be here November 7th. Check out cccSC.org for tickets and more information.
Now we don't have to do anything except talk to this camera right here because we're live. Right? So we're going to talk to that camera. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have reached midfield. We were supposed to announce that earlier, but it's a long ball, and we are now in the red zone. So in the red zone, here's what we're going to talk about, buddy. We are going to talk about the rankings.
Let's get right into it.
And let's get right into it. Yeah, let's talk about rankings and right in the red zone. The new format. I guess I'm going to have to get used to the new format here. But welcome to the red zone. Let's go right to the rankings and there's some familiar names across the top, and there's some new names across the top. But right now, we're going to start with 6A. And of course, when you start at the top of 6A,
there's no question. St. Joseph's Prep. Dominant every year, in and out. Honestly, looking at this, I think they might struggle this year a little bit. Getting a new
define
quarterback.
struggle.
I think with the new quarterback, they might struggle for the first 4 weeks, but obviously are they going to go to the state playoffs and probably state championship? Yes.
It's a good show. Well, I'm not going to give them that yes yet.
Not yet? Not yet?
No.
Okay.
Because at number 2 we have Archbishop Wood.
Yes.
And Archbishop Wood, last year when Bishop McDevitt Wincoat announced a lot of the players split up and went to different schools, and Archbishop Wood absorbed a few of the really good players. So I think Wood has a shot at dethroning St. Joe's Prep.
Yeah, like
just
Emmanuel Sia went, Eric Gardner. There was a kid from Springford that even transferred to Archbishop Wood, and I honestly didn't even think about that. And just seeing a lot of this talent come in, they're definitely going to be competitive, but it's hard to beat St. Joseph's Prep. It's hard. They got a good head coach, and they just got an overall good program.
And I know how they get some players that come in, but a lot of teams get players that come in. It's what you do with the players in the program. And I watch St. Joe's Prep prepare. I watch them at halftime. I watch them do things, and their system is amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, right after the game's over, they go directly into position breakdowns with their coaches and stuff like that. Their coaching staff on the sideline is extremely organized, and I've seen some very disorganized sidelines.
Yes,
that
I have
had talent.
Well. Yes. Yep. A lot this spring.
Yeah, and we're not taking anything away from those coaches because they had to deal with something that we can't imagine. I mean, like they had spring football. And they just jumped right on the field.
Yeah.
And they jumped on the field with players from other teams as well.
Yep.
So I mean, like that's something that is a different thing. But and then there's another team that's hard to beat, and that's Central Catholic out in Pittsburgh.
Yes. Very, very good team, full of athletes. They got a young defense. I did a lot of player previews with that team this year, and they're gonna be strong. They got young kids coming up too, but experiences is key, especially in the 6A. I would say the biggest thing is experience.
Last year, 6A was one of those things when we did the rankings where it was almost like a cakewalk. Like, your top 7, you pretty much knew where they were to get. But this year, and that's only because Allentown didn't play last year.
Yes. Yep.
So and some of the schools in Philadelphia, but coming in at number 4, Central York, they lost a big gun. But they're gaining a big gun. They still have a big gun.
Yes.
A cannon.
Yeah. They have a very, very good quarterback.
Penn State commit.
Penn State Prebula.
Yeah, he's coming right here. Got to see him this summer.
Did you?
Yeah.
I bet that was an experience. But they lost a couple. They lost a really good receiver in Judah Tome. He played in the Big 33 game. But
the center too. They lost their center.
Yes.
So that's a big hit.
They'll still be pretty competitive. I think if they compete with the top 3, I don't know, but they'll definitely compete. In the state playoffs
I mean,
this
that's
year.
why they're up there though. In at number 5, Emmaus. Those District 11 teams down there. It's one of my favorite things to watch. Emmaus, Parkland, Freedom, Liberty. They all just beat the living daylights out of each other.
Yeah.
All season long. Like, Parkland's it this week, and then they get clobbered by Allentown Central Catholic, and then Allentown Central Catholic's it, and then Emmaus beats the crap out of them. It's just like bam, 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 and my co-host a couple of years ago.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, my co-host a couple of years ago. I hit my volume button. We every week we would talk about it, and Phil Smore, that when we were down to champs, and we would talk about this. But number 5, North Allegheny, always beating up on each other with Central Catholic. That's a tough league out there. There's only I think 9 6A teams, and 5 of them are really good teams.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a good one.
They got a good young talent in Jacob Porter. His older brother is currently a starting defensive back for Penn State, and I think he's going to follow in his footsteps. Big kid, did a player preview with him over the summer, and he's confident that the team is going to do well, but it's just difficult. It's difficult to judge
and
right now.
They have a younger Dinkins kid coming up too.
Yep.
So that's going to be interesting. And back in the countdown this year, number 7, Downingtown West, coach down there he's put together a really nice looking team. A lot of skilled players back, a lot of linemen back. From top to bottom, they've got a good team. Number 8, North Penn. North Penn is big this year. They're huge. and their line is big. And I got inside information because we have an intern on their
Yes.
team, Avery. How you
Yep.
doing, Avery? I hope you're watching, man. Good luck this season. I'm looking forward to those behind the face max articles that you're going to be putting up about North Penn. District 1, that area down there is always tough. And then
Yeah.
Wilson, West Lawn, number 9. Wilson had a heartbreak last year.
Yes.
They didn't have enough to get in the playoffs. And a lot of people down there are going to tell you that they got jobbed out of the playoffs.
Yeah.
I guess that's the word you want to look for. But the Bulldogs are back, and they've got some talent coming behind them. And then number 10 could be a shocker, and number 10 could actually be number 4.
Number 10, I definitely agree, could be number 4, but I like the spot where they're at right now only because they're so unpredictable.
Yeah, Garnet Valley. Garnet Valley has some players down there, and they returned, I think, 8 offensive linemen and 8 defensive linemen from a team that played very well last year, and they went undefeated, and I guess they won their that conference championship, I guess you would say. They beat Marple Newtown for the championship.
Yes.
So that was a good year. Teams to watch. You're going to see one of these teams to watch next week.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
Or Friday night, actually.
Yes.
Delaware Valley. That game came out of nowhere. Del Val had an opening for a while. That wasn't a COVID opening. It was just an opening that they had, and we were trying to find them a game, and then somebody realized Gateway was in a 3-way scrimmage, so called Don Hall.
I'm so excited, honestly.
And you got to see now that we took you off of one game.
Yes.
That you were very excited to see.
Yes, which would have been a good game, but I think this one's going to be more competitive. You know, it's kind of nice that they're meeting right in the middle. They're going to be right like 20 minutes from here at Bald Eagle. So Friday, 6 p.m., everyone tune in to Twitter.
Yep.
I'll be right there live.
And we had State College as an honorable mention. They were here tonight. Always good talent. State College, we have them as an honorable mention just to see what how they recovered. They had it tougher than a lot of teams last year. So to see how they recover. LaSalle down in Philadelphia, always loaded with talent. And I'm real interested to see. We were tempted to put Penridge at 10.
Really?
Yeah. But without Tarburton there, he's a big chunk of a puzzle to not have on the field with you.
Yeah.
So
I did a couple of player previews from Penridge this summer, and they're excited, and to put them at an honorable mention definitely is caring. But I can definitely see them up even in the 8th section, like between. 8 and 10.
it's looking. I think they're a really good team. Division 1, District 1 is loaded. That was their biggest gripe when we were 4 classes. Was they said, look, we have all these great teams down here, and we don't get a chance to get into playoffs because we're all 4A.
Yeah.
So now they get to split it up. So that's 6A. That's the wrap on 6A. Our PFN rankings, just so you know, our rankings, we compile them with a bunch of reporters from PA Football News all over the state. My guys all know football. Like I said, this guy played football. I have a coach out west that played football. He helps with the rankings. Coach Willie McGonigal. How you doing, Willie? He helps out. Brian Hollywood Tashinsky. He's been around football forever. He helps us out. Dan Reed helps us out. Our producer, he knows football very well. He's in the cold country of football.
District
North
11.
Yeah.
District
yeah,
11
he's
guy.
in a good area. So that's how we compile our rankings. We don't take them lightly. We also poll the coaches. So I think we did 372 team previews this year or something like that, 375.
A lot.
We did a lot of them, and we ask every single coach who they think the top 5 teams in their conference, in their league, or whatever it is. So then we compile all that, and we talk about it. We sit down. We usually meet at a restaurant in Erie and have a good time. But let's move on to 5A, Tristan. 5A last year was a dogfight.
Yes.
And then the dog got kicked at the end of the season, and teams started dropping out like crazy. So
yeah,
so
I'm very interested at the rankings, but I definitely agree with number 1 and Hotep. Seeing them play in the spring, they got a beast of a defense. Keon Wiley and Nay White, all those guys are just unbelievable athletes.
Yeah, and Raleigh College, they just have some guys.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, like you just, and they've got some good coaches down there. Coach Schmidt running the defense down there, he does a good job. And Imhotep was very impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know we got to see a lot of guys who graduated.
Yeah,
so
True.
we saw their senior class. but some of the guys that are still there are really talented. So Imhotep, you got to, it's unanimous at number one for all of us. Governor Mifflin, number two. They lost some guys.
Yeah.
But
Nicholas Singleton. You can't number one running back in the state.
In the country.
Is he number one in the country?
Number one. Nick Singleton, number one running back in the country. I mean,
he's coming right here
you
to
gotta
Penn
put him
State
right
as well.
there.
Oh yeah.
Penn State commit. So you got to have him there. As a matter of fact, Imhotep has, I believe, a couple Penn State guys too.
Yeah.
So a lot of Penn State guys across here. Number three, I just had a young man ask me this last night. He said, "Is my team going to get a preview?" You're number three. You're getting a preview, okay? Upper Dublin gets a preview. Upper Dublin was very disappointing last year.
Yeah.
They had such a good team.
Still, they still return the quarterback Colin O'Sullivan, I believe his
Yep,
name is.
yep.
And he is very good.
Yeah, he's a good quarterback, and he wants to. He wanted to play Cathedral Prep, but
yes, yep, I do remember that.
It just it just didn't happen. Gateway at number 4. Gateway is at number 4 for a reason. They got a quarterback now.
That's exactly what I was about to talk about. They got both the Birch brothers, which previously they both played at Jeanette, played in the state championship this past season, and they're very good. But they also have another stud in Patrick Body Jr., real high Division I athlete, defensive back. And, I think them having a quarterback now expands their offensive ability, and their defense is really good. And, that's why I'm kind of excited for Friday night.
I think that's what Gateway was missing a couple of years ago in the playoffs.
Yeah.
When they played Archbishop Wood. And they lost. It was a close game throughout, but I think if they had a quarterback, I think it was a different game.
It was a different game. Yeah, you definitely see that a lot. But coming in at number 5, we just alluded to them, Cathedral Prep. They lost in the state championship this past season to Pine Richland. But Pine Richland was a very good team this past year.
You never count Cathedral Prep out. Coach Mishler knows how to get it done.
Yeah.
I'm going to turn my stool a little bit here. But, yeah, Coach Mishler, one of my favorite coaches, great guy. Got to see him this summer over when we were up in Erie for the Save an Eye game. And Cathedral Prep does a good thing. And they've got some young athletes coming up too. So you can't ever count them out only because of the coaching staff. All right, let's look at number 6, Whitehall.
That's an interesting pick for me. I haven't seen this team before, but I know they have some athletes, Bryce Bashore is a wide receiver there. He's a very good, talented kid, but I'm interested to see what they're able to do this year.
Yeah, Whitehall has a great team coming back from a team who they didn't set the world on fire to start, but by the end of last season, they were one of their teams. They were on fire and they were playing good football. They won their conference championship down there. So Whitehall, of course, Matt Seneca from Penn State is their head coach. So there's that Penn State thing again. And sorry, I know Tim Salem. I love Pitt too. Okay, but we got to get more Pitt guys. We got to get more guys from Pitt. So, but Pine Richland, we dropped them down to number 7 for a couple of reasons. One, there's no Cole Spencer.
Exactly. Yep.
2, they lost a couple of guys in the defense that were key.
Yep.
Luke was one of them.
Luke Miller, Eli Yoakum.
Yep. So you lose 2 of those guys. Those are big holes to fill. And then number 3, new coaching staff. So
yep, it's gonna be interesting to see for sure.
I mean, they got some guys back.
Mm-hmm.
They got some guys back. They got some linemen back, but it's going to be interesting to see how that happens. A new coach coming in to a different situation. So Westchester Ruston, they were good last year. They returned a good core of their players. Moon is always tough at number 9. Moon Township, always tough. They got some guys back there, and it's always
big
like,
guys.
You look at it, it's like, who do we put there? Moon or Peters?
This year definitely Moon.
And something different that PA Football News does that the writers don't do is we are PA Football News. So Malvern Prep goes in there. I know I've talked to Dave Guerrero all the time, and he really wants to be able to bring his team into the PIAA. But Bob, I'm begging you, man, let him come in. Change the rule
and
change the rule. I get it.
Malvern Prep is anchored by Colton Deary. He's a commit to Maryland to not only play football but also wrestle.
Yeah,
big kid, strong.
Yeah.
So
they have 3 kids at 3 or 4 commitments this year, Division I commits, and and then I guess Malvern Prep made the news this year in the spring when their stud Lonnie White
Yeah.
signed $1 million contract to play baseball and
That was-
stepped away from Penn State. That had to be a difficult decision for him.
That was probably the most difficult decision he's probably made in his life. But it's understandable to go play baseball if you're a first round pick and you're making good money. So
Yep. Academy Park, Marple Newtown. There's Marple Newtown in there. Manheim Central is interesting to me. They've got some guys coming back, Owen Sensenig and their quarterback, and they have a really nice looking core coming back. I think this is the year Manheim Central makes a comeback. And and then you have Chester in there too.
Yeah, United
so
10
Academy
champions.
Park and Chester, going at it. So let's move on, Tristan, to the 4A. And we know who's at the 4A.
yes, definitely number one. Previous state champions 2020. You got your Thomas Jefferson team. They lost a few kids, but they're talented.
You can't take
Yeah.
anything away because we said that last year too.
Yep, exactly. And even if you do lose a good core group of guys, they have a good coaching staff, and they're just
Coach
athletes.
Sherback knows what to do. I mean, he turns them around. Number 2, my man. We talked to Jeff Wechter. I saw some of these guys last week. Bishop McDevitt.
Marquise.
We're going to find out what they are.
Yes, we're definitely going to find out
this week. Yeah, they have LaSalle coming in, so that's a huge game for McDevitt. Wechter is loaded. I mean, the quarterback's he's a freshman. He's got an offer from Oregon. So, but Keith Williams, as he runs, is how the Crusaders are going to go.
Yeah, definitely. Their running back is committed to Old Dominion. He did that earlier this summer, so it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one. Jersey Shore. I mean, Tommy Gravish. I love Tommy Gravish.
Yeah.
Man.
He's
I mean,
awesome.
Yeah,
Probably
he's
one of
a
the best
great guy.
coaches I've met.
Oh, and he's fun to talk to. I mean, he gets in there and he's like, "Yo, hey, when we was kids,
Yeah, he does. He gets into
he
it.
gets
but
excited, but he knows what to do with a team. Of course, they lost some guys.
Yep.
They lost their gunslinger. That's a big loss, but their other guys got a lot of playing time. So I mean, they got Caden Hess coming back and a couple other guys. And
that kid's so good. But they're always the thing about Jersey Shore that I always see is they're the most physical team. They might not be the biggest and strongest, but they're the most physical. We saw that in the state championship against Thomas Jefferson. We talked about that earlier. We thought it was going to be a blowout, and it was a close game. So
Tommy
you
always
never know what's going to happen.
Tommy always keeps them like right at the edge of illegal.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he knows how to keep them right there where they're just. If you just let go once, the dam's going to break. Bethlehem Catholic loaded with a big man on the line.
Really?
Yeah.
That's going to be an interesting team, but I really like looking at number 5. I had these guys as a favorite last year, Bell Vernon. They got a really good quarterback athlete in Devin Whitlock, and then a stud linebacker, Cole Waitman.
Cole's my guy, man.
That kid is so good.
Yeah, he's very good. Under recruited. If
Yeah,
you're
for
a
sure.
Division I football team and you're not looking at Cole Waitman,
You got a
why?
He had like 136 tackles in like 8 games.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable.
Yeah, he was
but,
an animal.
Yeah, Devin Whitlock is really good. And then going to number 6 here on our list, Berks Catholic. They have a pretty good team. It's going to be interesting to see what they do this year. I know they lost a few kids, but what's your opinion on that?
I think they come back this year. I think they had a couple down years, but I think they're back. Number 7, Valley View, up in District 2, up in the Lackawanna Conference. Valley View's always tough.
Yeah.
Coach Howanitz knows what to do, and it was fun. We went up there together.
Yes, we did.
Tristan and I went up to watch the football game, and it's at Valley View Stadium. We went up for the Dream game, and being from Berwick, Valley View and Berwick had played a couple times, and we stopped in this little place. What was it called?
Oh,
Was
I don't remember. It was a pizza
remember.
place.
Yeah, it was a little Owl's Pizza
or something like that.
Something like
it was
that. I don't
so
know.
good though.
It was freaking good, but the whole wall was just covered.
Yes.
With memorabilia about their older teams and Valley View where they all came together. So it was pretty neat to be there. But Howanitz does a good job. Number 8, Pottsville, the Crimson Tide.
Yes.
Again, I'm a Berwick guy, so Pottsville, soft spot, cold country.
Yeah.
Jay Snowell.
I don't know. I think Aliquippa would go above Pottsville, but the problem with Aliquippa this year, we have them at number 9. They got a new quarterback. They had a tough loss last year to TJ, so it's gonna be interesting to see what they do with the new quarterback.
Yeah. They lost a few guys, but
yeah,
man,
they're always
what
good.
a line I mean, I got to see their line. Their line is huge. We saw them at Penn State at the camp.
Okay.
And they were like mountains standing there. I was like, holy cow. So Aliquippa is going to be tough. The Aliquippa battle with Central, always a tough Central Valley. So that's always a tough one. But then Blackhawk, Bishop Shanahan at 10. They were a great team last year. They were a team that, I wanted to see what would happen with them in the playoffs, but it just never was able to happen. You see it. Honorable mention, we've got Allentown Central Catholic. There's one of those District 11 teams. Cocalico is an interesting team to me. They've got some players. They get the
lineman.
The big lineman.
Ryan Brubaker.
Ryan Brubaker's committed.
South Carolina.
He's a Gamecock. He's a big boy, big
6'7".
kid. But it takes more than just a lineman. So we'll see what they have. Northwestern Lehigh is going to be a good team this year, and Bonner Prendy, the Friars look good this year. They look really good. I really wanted to get them up there. I probably would have. I could swap them and Shanahan out.
In the 10th spot, I can see that.
Yeah,
they're coming out of District 12. I could probably agree with that.
Yeah, I think that's the way it is. So, but that's our 4A. Let's talk 3A. Let's keep this moving here. And 3A. It was my pleasure to put these guys at number 1.
At number 1, why's that?
Because they did get boned last year.
Okay.
North Schuylkill Spartans. I think they could have went deep and possibly gotten to Hershey.
Really?
I think the battle between them and Wyomissing would have been one heck of a game.
That would have been, but it's always hard. But we'll talk about them later. But it's always hard to play Central Valley. But coming at number 2, we got Wyomissing. That wing tee. Pretty good team. They're strong. You see a kid like Aiden Mack coming back, one of the top-rated tight ends in the state. They're going to be a strong team. I think they're going to make another playoff push this year.
Yeah, they lost some guys, but those other guys had some playing time last year too. I think they're going to make a strong push too. I know Coach Steve O'Neill came at me and he's like, "Man, you put that target on our back," and I'm like, "Well, you know what? You drew your own target."
Yeah, exactly.
So that's the way it goes. There, number 3, Central Valley. I know a lot of people argue with me about that one, but when you lose a starting quarterback like that.
Yeah, true. Losing Amir Dudley to Harvard, they still got Landon Alexander at running back. They got a new quarterback coming in. His name's Matt Merritt. He's really good. He's played linebacker for them for the past 3 years. He doesn't have a lot of playing time at quarterback because of Amir, but he has some. Talking to him over the summer, he's excited to get into it, and they think that they're going to have one of the best defenses in the state.
I think they are too.
Yeah,
I
they're
think
very
with
good.
Simmons,
Sean Fitzsimmons, yes.
Yep, in there. So, I mean, for me personally, I could throw a blanket over the top 4.
Okay.
This year, because Notre Dame Green Pond, who did they lose to last year?
I don't remember.
I do. It was North Schuylkill. So
okay, I was not sure about that.
And they bring their guys back too. So Notre Dame Green Pond is going to be very, very tough to beat this year.
I really like 5 and 6.
I like 5 and 6. Mercury Swaim, the best name in high school football in Pennsylvania. Mercury Swaim.
Very, very good on his feet, and he has a really good arm. They fell short last year, but I think they're going to make another push this year. I can even put them at like number 3. I can put Central Valley at 4 and put Bedford at 3. They lost some guys, but I think Mercury Swaim. He's so good.
I mean, he's a great athlete. Again, if you're a Division I coach,
yes,
and you're not looking at Mercury Swaim, he doesn't have an offer.
He does.
But if you're not looking at him, come on, why?
And
Seriously.
Then number 6, unfortunately, I was here at the game, District 6 championship. Central was so good, but Jeff Hohenstein, their leading quarterback, ended up breaking. I think his fibula.
Yeah,
I believe something in his leg.
When I got that note, when you sent me that note, I was like, "Oh man!" Because I thought they were primed for a run to deep in the playoffs too.
But I can see it this year. They lost a few guys, but they returned a lot of their athletes.
The tight end is back.
Yeah, they have a couple new linemen, which they're kind of smaller, but I still think they're going to be a talented team. Dave Baker does good.
I think Hohenstein buys you time.
Yeah. He buys you a lot of time.
Because if you don't stay back, he's taking off.
Oh yeah, he's running all over the place.
And I talked to Coach Hohenstein, and he said he's fine.
Good. Glad to hear that.
Good. No, I'm glad too. It could have been worse. I mean, like a broken bone is easier to come back from than a torn ligament.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's a good thing. Scranton Prep, always a powerhouse up there up in the Lackawanna League. I like Scranton Prep just simply because they reload every year. Number 8. We almost forgot about number 8.
Yeah, Newman Goretti. Saw them all spring. Bring a lot of talent, especially in their defensive backfield. Sean Battle, Rayleigh Collins. They got a lot of good guys.
Sean Battle,
very good,
was very, very athletic. But Coach Albee, you got to get him up through into the meat before I'm going to move you up, buddy. I love you, but you got to get these guys and you got to bring them forward. Elizabeth forward. They lost a big boy last year, but they return a ton.
Return a ton?
Yeah, so that's going to be a Central Valley Elizabeth forward battle for 3A.
Okay. I
think so. I think so. And up in District 10, I think this is our first District 10 member. The Hickory Hornets, man. Coach Bill does a great job out there. Great athletes. We did a couple of previews on them.
Yeah, Romarian Whitehead, he's a leading receiver. He's like 6'5", and he runs like a 4.40.
Yeah.
He's very, very good, talented kid. And, it's going to be interesting to see if they can get past that schedule and get up into the rankings. But it's going to be interesting.
I agree. Honorable mention, I mean, Danville was really good last year, but,
good.
Man, they took a huge hit on graduation.
Yeah, they did.
Mean, they lost a ton, but I still think they're going to be good. North Catholic, always a power out there.
Yep.
St. Mary's up in District 9. They're going to be good. Western Wayne.
Lost a good running back, but saw the Thomas Chernansky. Very, very good.
Got to meet him up at
the Dream Game.
Big kid. He's a big
like,
boy.
What, like 6'7"?
Committed to Delaware. Blue Hens. Yeah, so
big
how you doing, Tom? Good to see good luck this year, everybody. So good luck to all the 3A teams, and let's move right on into number 2. 2A.
2A.
Is
this even a question?
Let me think about this. 2A. Oh yeah, Southern Columbia is still there, aren't they?
And they're not going anywhere.
Yeah,
I will not lie. Watching this team, in the spring they won a state track championship, and you're going to see that on the football field this year, right along with it. So it's going to be. I don't think it's even a question. I have Southern Columbia as my favorite until someone proves me wrong. So
the speed that they have there, Jim Ross. This could be a Jim Ross last year too.
Is this his last year?
And they're actually looking to break the Pennsylvania streak of consecutive wins by Berwick this season, which is 66. They're at 60 right now.
They're at 60 right now.
Yeah.
I believe that they'll be able to do it for sure. Gavin Garcia is a beast, and that whole it's going to be fun. It's going to be a track. It's going to be a track and field meet.
You know who they open up with this year, right?
I'm not sure.
Berwick.
Okay. Of course, but maybe Berwick will break it, and then they'll keep their record. That'd be a perfect story.
You know what the record is? Their game. They'll be if they win and don't lose until that game. That's why I'm missing.
Okay.
So don't give them the record yet.
Okay. All right. I won't.
All right.
I won't. Not quite yet, but
I mean, why I'm missing? Are you ready to go? Do you have what it takes?
Maybe we'll see.
So stop
we'll
the
find
streak.
out.
So yeah, Southern Columbia number 1. It's just a no-brainer.
Yes.
Farrell at number 2. They're back.
Yeah, won a state championship. What was it? 2 years ago.
Yep.
They beat Bishop Guilfoyle. I believe that they're back. They have a good coaching staff, a lot of good athletes down their way, and I believe that they can make a push. Going at number 3, Stowe Rocks coming out of District 7.
Yeah, I get to see them this weekend.
Do you get to see it?
Yeah, they're Saturday. They're at Woodland Hills.
Okay.
For the West versus Arrest.
That's gonna be a good game.
Yeah, they're playing Bishop Sycamore out of Ohio, so I'm excited to see Stowe Rocks play some football. Number 4, Richland.
It's gonna be a good team.
Always a good team. Coach Bailey down there, he just reloads every year.
Yeah.
And
bringing back a good quarterback in Kellen Stahl, a bunch of good athletes. They lost to Southern Columbia. I think that's going to be right. That's going to be the matchup again this year, Southern Columbia Richland for that semifinal.
I think so. It could be. The Shannick has some big guys coming back. Number 6, Wimber down in District 5. Yep. Matty Grohol said, if I win my first 4 games, you better rank me number 1. So
that's a little. That's pushing it a little bit.
Yeah.
Southern Columbia, but maybe number 2.
Well, he's confident. Okay. Out west, number 7, McGuffey. We covered that team a lot. They're just a good, solid team all the way around. Bellwood Anderson, number 8.
Yeah.
Until somebody knocks them off in the ICC.
Yeah. It's one of those District 6 battles, Richland, Belledanus. It's going to be another one this year, just like it was last year.
And then surprise at number 9 is Wilmington, but I mean their roster was you could use the word depleted.
Oh yeah, their entire backfield graduated. They're good running back. Pretty much a brand new team this year. Young, but it's going to be interesting to see what they can do.
Brandon Fillion will have them ready.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they have an extra week. Next week, a week off because we can't find them an appointment. Number 10 is an interesting choice. I was, we all talked, and it was either Beaver Falls,
or South Williamsport,
Bald Eagle, or South Williamsport.
And you decided South Williamsport.
We decided South Williamsport based on some of the athletes that they have coming back. But Beaver Falls, they lost their 2 big guns in the backfield. Josh Huff off to Syracuse.
Yep.
They dropped down just because those 2 guys were a big chunk of offense.
Mm-hmm.
But they have some guys and they can work their way back up. Carn City is always a good team.
That's
Bald Eagle area.
Bald Eagle area, 8 returning starters on offense and defense. They were just here. They got. I think they're going to be good, but not quite as good as they were 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
When they made that Final Four push. But I think they're going to be a good team this year.
Yeah. And Carn City is always a team that intrigues me.
They're quiet. They're always quiet, and then they usually make noise in the playoffs.
Yeah, and that's what they did last year. And Sarah Catholic has some athletes, so a lot of people are talking about Sarah Catholic out there. They came close to winning the Whippeal last year. We'll see what they have coming back this year. That's it for the 2A. We got one group left, single A.
I like the order for this too, except for 1 and 2. But number 1, Muncie. They went toe to toe with the state champions last year. You were at that game.
Yeah.
Really good game. But number 2, Steel High. They lost one of their big playmakers in Mekhi Flowers. He transferred to CD East. But I still think they're going to be a good team.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no doubt about it. No doubt about
Yeah.
it. They play in a tough division. They play bigger teams. And, Coach Irby the other night said that's what makes them,
Yeah. And they have a real young, good, tall, big, talented quarterback in Alex Irby. Led them to state championship as a freshman.
Yep.
And, that's all he was talking about all summer is, we want to go back. We want to go back, repeat. And I think they have a good chance to do it this year.
Yeah, when he's tough. Muncie, I like Muncie at number 1 because they return almost everybody. The Iyer brothers are back. Their whole team, they lost a running back, and that was it.
That's it?
That's it.
That's impressive.
They lost a running back, and that's a team that was just like mowing teams down in District 4 and almost beat Steel High at their place.
Yeah.
So that's a tough one. And, it's difficult to go in as a Muncie because, you're not used to that kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not used to it.
Yeah, and then, going into number 3 at Old Forge, again, Mekhi Flowers, very last-second touchdown. Interesting.
They have a lot of their guys back. A lot of their guys back this year. Number 4, Clairton, the Bears are back. They got a huge.
I think it's going to be a good team.
Oh,
too.
man, they have a huge line.
Yes.
And they may not have. Our mics are out.
Our mics are out?
Are they back?
I think they're
Check
back.
1, 2. Are we back?
I hear myself.
I hear myself.
Anyway, well, let's keep talking. Just in
Difficulties.
case.
Anyway, that was my fault. I bumped something. Clairton's back. They're they don't have to worry about Jeanette this year either because I just don't.
Oh no, losing the
Jeanette's
Birch brothers.
missing.
Yeah,
they've lost many. I mean, they struggled to field a team this year, surprisingly. Red Bank Valley. We're going to see those boys next week.
Good. I got to see these guys last year in the playoffs against Northern Bedford.
Yeah.
They pulled out the win, and
Coach Gold's
big
a great guy.
Big team.
Yeah, Coach Gould has that weight training program, and that's where we're heading next week. Out to their neck of the woods. They're all going to be there, and I hope everybody shows up. All the family, Tri Valley and Williams Valley from District 11. They're both going to battle it out this year. He's one of my favorite guys at Williams Valley, but Tri Valley Bulldogs, they've got a lot of guys back. Both teams have some good talent. Bishop Guilfoyle, you can never count them out.
I don't think.
I think this year is a good year in 1A.
Oh yeah, for sure. But Bishop Guilfoyle, no no doubt takes District 6, but I also think that they make a playoff push again like they did last year, make the state semifinal. They have a really good team. They have really good athletes coming back. So they lost a couple kids. Keegan Walk, I believe was his name. Lost him. But I think they're still going to bring a good team, and they're going to be competitive.
Yeah, and here's the one thing, the biggest thing, Northern Bedford, Shenango 9, Northern Bedford 10. Northern Bedford comes out and they have to run a gauntlet. If they win their first 4 games, I would put them at number 2.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they have a lot of guys back. So California, DeLone Catholic, coming rounding it out. That's our rankings rundown. We won't do that again every week. We'll just touch on them every week. But right now, I want to show you a little bit more about 3C and what they can do here at 3C, and then we'll come back and wrap it up. All right, welcome back, and ladies and gentlemen, we have reached it, the end zone.
Finally, we're
We've
getting there.
reached the end zone.
We're getting used to this new format. So we
That's
finally
it.
reached the end zone, and we're gonna go over some of the big games for this weekend.
Newman Goretti and Roman Catholic. Roman Catholic has a pile of talent.
For sure.
Newman Goretti has a pile of talent.
It's gonna be a great
I
game.
mean, that's going to be a good game. Our second game,
My game.
Gateway, Delaware Valley. That's a big one. So we're going down. We're just running over some of the big games. I think Grove City and Meadville up in District 10 is a huge game.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one. Grove City is really competitive. A lot of athletes. The next game, even Bishop Shanahan and then John Bartram.
Bartram was a good team. I
very
got the
good in
season.
this
They only played 2 games, but
Yeah.
they got some players down there at Bartram, and that's going to be a good game. That's going to be a bang-up game. Upper Dublin, I put that in there because we have a guy covering Upper Dublin and Wissahickon, so that's what we get our first look at Upper Dublin, and we'll know what's going on there. Of course, the next game, Southern Columbia and Berwick. I'm a Berwick Bulldog. Okay, we've
feel
been waiting
bad.
for this game for 50 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Since Southern Columbia started winning in 1988, we've been waiting for this game.
Okay.
All right.
I don't think it's going to be a question of who wins. I'm sorry. I know you're a
No.
Borough guy, but
Listen, I'm realistic. Coach Carm is realistic too. He said he said his players surprised him last week, but it is what it is. Here's another good game that we have covered. This is between 2 of the top running backs in the state right here. Coach Whiter will be down there. William Penn, York High against Governor Mifflin. I mean,
you can't ask for a better matchup.
I mean, 2 great running backs.
Yeah. I
on
mean,
the
it's gonna be an amazing game. I think it's gonna be whoever wins the trenches gonna win that game.
Apollo Ridge, always tough out there in District 7. Our Lady of Sacred Heart, Olsh, we call them. Both those teams always competitive. And in my favorite game, well, one of my favorite games that I get to see this weekend, Friday night at 8 o'clock, Central Catholic and Imhotep.
That sounds awesome.
Come on, that's football.
That's football, especially the way they played in the spring. I haven't been able to see Pittsburgh Central Catholic. I know they're really good, full of athletes, but I don't know. That's going to be a good game. That's going to be competitive.
I can't wait
You
to see
can't even
it.
call that game. Like, who
No,
wins?
I don't know. I can't wait to see it. Tyrone and Bellwood.
Classic.
Every year.
Classic.
Backyard brawl.
Yep.
I mean, it gets mean down there. I went to
Oh,
one.
yeah.
It
Yeah,
does.
yeah.
It gets gross. Valley View and Dallas. Dallas, I think, is on a comeback this year, so that might be a pretty good game. We've got that one covered. I think John Kotsko will be there. And Beaver Falls and Blackhawk, that's going to be the litmus test for Beaver Falls. We'll see what's going on there.
Yeah. Blackhawk is a very good team, full of athletes as well.
Yeah, and then here's another one. We touched on this earlier. Bishop McDevitt is hosting LaSalle College. That's just going to be a monster game. You got North Penn and Sauderton. Of course, Sauderton, they had a heartbreak last year too,
Yeah, they did. It was unfortunate, but, I think North Penn's going to win this game this week. And then our friends that joined us earlier, Troy against Bald Eagle,
Yeah,
That's going to be a good game, too.
I think so. Yep. Central Bucks West and Coatesville. Coatesville was this close to making our rankings.
That's this close.
That close. Coach, give me a win, okay? And we'll talk about that. Central Dauphin East against Manheim Township. We have Flowers.
That's what I was
and
about to
Ivy.
say. It's going to be a battle just to see what CD East does with all the new talent that they have.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a good game.
And you're going to have Flowers and Ivy playing on the same field.
Oh, yeah. And
I mean-
Flowers plays defense, too. I
Yeah.
don't know if he'll do it here, but he did it Steel High, so we're going to find out this weekend. I'm kind of excited.
Lance Dean, put him on defense. We want to see it, Coach. All right, put him on. We want to see Ivy matched up.
That would be awesome. There you go.
With Flowers. That would be great. And then, of course, my big one of the weekend, also Pine Richland and Harrisburg at 4 o'clock on Saturday at the Wolverina. Just going to be I just can't wait to see, Harrisburg's kind of a mystery. Pine Richland's kind of a mystery.
Big mystery.
2-storied program. So those are our big games, guys. And we're going to wrap it up here from 3C Sports. And we look forward to next week. Next week, we're going to Joe's Pizzeria. We're looking forward to this. We're going out to New Bethlehem, Pennsylvania on Wednesday night, 6:30. I'm excited to be there. I know, Tristan, we're going to have some guys from Armstrong. There's a pretty good quarterback named Olson that plays for Armstrong.
Okay.
He's playing for the He's playing for the passing record out there. And Red Bank Valley, those guys are all going to be there. So it's just going to be a great time. It's going to be.
I'm
It's
excited.
going to be awesome. So for Tristan, I'm Billy. This was the State of PA Football season preview. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We'll see you next week. Same time, same place, different field. Good night, all.